Well, welcome to another Tony Too Tough video. Here we are. We're going to be doing a review on the Maxpedition. Now, I want to give a special thanks out to Nancy, my neighbor. Her brothers all pitched in and put this together for me and got me some really cool stuff. There's a lot of black smoke coming off of here right now because I got some fat wood in there just to get this fire started. But it's a chilly day here in Florida. Believe it or not, Florida does get cold on occasion, but I love it these days simply because Florida's hot, hot as balls. And these days are really welcome. So, anyways, let's get right to this. So, this is the Maxpedition, and I personally set this one up. I made sure that this has everything in it that I need. If I was to go out in the woods right now and I was to get lost for whatever reason, got turned around, hunting trip, whatever, and all I had was this thing on me, then everything I need to survive an inconvenient night of camping until I can get back to civilization is right here. Okay, so let's start off, make this really simple. All right, the first C, container. Got to have some way to boil water and have some water with you. So anyways, that's the first one. Okay, so let's open this bad boy up. First of all, let me just show you the bag, right? So this is the Maxpedition, and it's got a lot of little gems in here. We got a little pouch right up front. We've got a compartment inside here. There's two pouches on either side, right? And then it's got a belt. And dude, I had no idea, but this is actually inside, tucked inside here is a belt, right? It goes all the way around, so I wear it around my waist if I chose to. I'm just going to carry it by the handle. So, but anyways, it's nice to know that if I wanted to go hands-free, I could. And everything I need is going to be right inside here. So I wanted to take a few moments to kind of go over the 10 C's with you. And it's not easy to pack 10 C's inside this small little this thing and actually make it workable, like an actual reelable, doable scenario. So let's just start off with some stuff. So we got the first C out of the way, and that was container. No, I'm not cooking a pot of beans in this, but I can, if I needed to, in a pinch, boil some water. Okay, but I'm going to carry some water with me, and I generally carry, my Grail, so that's done. But if I needed to boil, if I had to, absolutely had to, I lost my Grail, whatever, I got some way to do that with. That's one of the most important. Let's talk about cutting tools, right? Over here, this isn't my go-to one, but this is the one that I put inside this bag, but this will get the job done. It'll cut a branch off of a tree, and that's what I'm looking for. Second cutting tool is a multi-purpose tool. All right, so in here I actually have a saw, right, which is kind of cool. And I tested it out the other day just to make sure. And yeah, and listen, it'll do the job of that. And it's also got a blade in there and a few other little items. So there we go. We got some cutting tools. I've got some cotton, and I got a cotton bandana. Now, we can go through the purposes, a million reasons why, but you just need the bandana, some sort of cotton on you. If you got to make some char cloth or whatever. Now, cover was an issue for me, right? Like, how do I get cover on this, right? Because cover is going to be probably one of the most, I really just can't fit my tarp in here, right? So I had to finagle that. But, and you know what? Since I don't see the cover in here this very second, it's probably on this side over here. Let's get over to something else that constitutes for cover. So trash bags, right? I keep some trash bags. This would be enough for me to fill up with some forest debris on the floor, and I would be able to put this down. It would get me off of the ground if I needed to. It's a tick bed, but it'll get the job done. Then I would fill up this bag right here with some more leaf litter, and that would be my pillow for the night. Is it going to suck? Yeah, totally going to suck, but I got it, right? Again, it's an inconvenient night of camping. So then we're going to go to combustion, right? So I've got a couple of items in here for combustion. I'm just going to pull them out. This is what I keep in here. And in here, I'm going to show you. On the side, I have a lighter, but then I also have a ferrocerium rod, right? If you watch my previous videos, you know I'm always going to have a piece of aluminum foil on there, which can work as a container if I needed to boil some water if I had to. I got some fat wood in there, but I also got these, which if you can see these are the cotton rounds that I made with some old candle wax and some accelerant. And these are just one strike from the ferrocerium rod onto this, and I've got a flame kicking, and that's awesome. So that's that. Now, let's get to some of the other goodies, right? So I have candling. right? So I have a small little, and in here, I've actually got more candling. But let's talk about something that's actually pretty important. And listen, we live in a tech world, right? So our tech world tells us that we have to keep charged. And so I keep a way to charge my gear up, and that stays inside the bag right here too. Okay. So on this side, I'm not going to, well, I will. As part of the gift, as part of this really, really cool gift for this Maxpedition, Nancy's brothers also pitched in and got me this Fury Tactical Surefire. I like Surefire. Came with a couple extra batteries too on top of that, which was pretty awesome. And in this pouch, I keep my cordage for my charging, and I keep some spare batteries in there, right? And a little electrolyte packet. And then on this side, what I keep over here is, on this side is my cordage. And in here, I've got bank line. I literally measured out 30 feet of bank line. I've got about 25 foot of paracord. And then I've got another 5 or 6 foot of bank line that I just keep as just some spare loose stuff. This slips right inside here, and I keep it on this little, let me put it in here. I keep a lighter on a lighter leash, right? And I do that. And I've also got, and this is Ray's, right? Nancy's husband. And this came in one of his toolboxes she shared with me, and I keep it with me. And it's a memento of Ray. I love him. I miss him. And he's awesome. And another cutting tool that I keep inside here, but that's fine. And then somewhere in here, I think it's back over here, I have got the other element of the my last element of cover, which is going to be one of those thermal blankets, right? So the thermal blanket is one of those, Mylar blankets. They suck when you have to try to put them back, and once you unfold them, it's it, dude. Like, it's done. It's one and done. So, and it's in here. It's tucked inside here to the back here, which I'm not going to pull out. But this little thing right here, this literally holds everything that I need, everything that I'm going to want to have in an inconvenient night of camp. Well, not everything I want to have, everything I need to stay alive, at least for 24 hours, right? Or so. And I keep that in here. And yeah, it doesn't weigh much, but it is one thing that I can honestly say, if I don't have these things, I feel pretty darn uncomfortable without being prepared. So I keep all these things, and I keep a little bit of tinder in here. And this is just some jute twine and some more fat wood. But these things live in my bag, right? They just live here at the bottom. And I'm just going to put it all back together again. But listen, real quick modification on your bandana. I added with some cargo tape, right? So I've got these things right here on here. Let me pull out these little loops. You've probably seen this before. I probably showed you guys before, but so I've got a little loop that I fashioned and made out of paracord. So if I need to hold this up as a flag or put it as a waypoint so I can see if I need to go out, and I don't want to get lost from the trail, and I want to get back to where I was at, I'm going to post this up on a tree or run this up some sort of something or other, and it's going to be in visual sight for where I'm at, and I'll know that my camp is back that way. As long as I can explore as long as I want, as long as I'm going to be back in that area, and I can see where this flag is at, then I know I'm in good shape. I don't have to concern myself with getting lost. I really don't. I don't have to worry about that. And that's and that really comes down to being the key of it all, making sure that you have what you need. It's not overly packed either. I mean, if I wanted to fit some food in here, if I wanted to fit some other stuff in here, maybe another pair of socks, I could. But I don't. But yeah, so I have some extra spare batteries in here and a little electrolyte powder, just because in the event of an emergency, you're going to want to have some way to not just recharge your batteries, but recharge your hydration, man. And that's kind of critical. So anyways, that is, oh, by the way, I have a way to charge my stuff, but you got to have, and I just had this conversation with my son today. I have to keep 3 different types of cords on me. And it's simply because if I don't, I won't be able to charge all my items up. So I have one specifically proprietary to iPhone. That's the lightning cable thing or whatever, that connection, which is fine. I'm glad that they moved away from it. But man, I got an iPhone 12, and that's what I'm filming off on the front camera. So if the video is kind of crummy, just know that it's because it's crummy because I'm cheap and I'm not buying the iPhone 15 and I'm using the front camera. So either deal with it, don't watch this video or whatnot, but that's the deal. So on this end, I have my cotton shemagh, and I'm going to roll this up. I'm going to roll this into my cotton shemagh, and I'm going to carry that on top. So let me roll this up. And now, mind you, if this was filled with some cold, cooler water, I can keep it relatively cool. And at least give me a little bit more insulation. All right. So that fits right on top, and it'll live right on top, just like this. It's a tight fit, man. And again, one of my favorite things about doing these things is that I have the ability to kind of fiddle around with these things, right? I love building these bags, and I love putting these bags together, and I love adding all the 10s, all the 10Cs. Interestingly enough, I don't have a canvas needle in here. I don't have a compass in here, and I do have some cargo tape, right? I think that pretty much so makes up the rest of it. So I'm missing a compass and I'm missing a canvas needle, but quite frankly, unless you have a map, the compass is just kind of cardinal directions and whatnot. I mean, I can set my azimuth and I can check in my reverse azimuth. If I'm running into the woods, I can check it real quick and say, okay, well, I'm going 270 west, and then I know, going back is going to be 90, right? So that's going to be going back east. So I mean, that's just the basics. But other than that, I'm not hitting trails at places that I'm not familiar with. So I know where I'm at when I'm going out into the woods. And if I'm not, I'm definitely bringing my compass and a map. So here we are. This is the Maxpedition. I put on the bottom here my name, my phone number, and in case found, there it is. All right. So I keep a black magic marker on me, and then a pen, and then something to write down if I had to leave a note on the car or whatever. If I needed to leave a note somewhere in the woods, hey, I'm going this direction, or whatever the case may be. If I want to just jot down my azimuth, if I was going to do that, then I have that available to me. So with that being said, I do appreciate the gift. I really genuinely do. I spent hours sitting here messing around with it. And I spent the time last night messing around with it after I posted up my video on the on my grass cordage, right? So how to make the cordage from grass. And here it sits the day after, right? So I put it together. I got about a foot here that I made in my other video. If you haven't seen that, go ahead and check it out. It is natural cordage. And this is basically, it was strong enough to be able to hold a ridge line, strong enough to hold my pot from a tripod. And for right now, it's just going to get burnt up as grass. So anyways, I want to thank you for stopping by. I want to thank you for being a part of this. And this is the journey that I'm going on. Tony Too Tough channel is really small. So if you like what you see and you want to see more of this content, I'm asking you to maybe like, subscribe, leave a comment. I love your comments, guys. I read those and I get a kick out of it. And I will reply back. And if you are a channel and you subscribe to me, I'll subscribe back to you just because. It's all good. I appreciate it. So go on. Get out in the woods. You don't have to go too far. Sometimes it's just your backyard. But go get your dirt on. Go on now. Now get.